I say
Where
the
are
whole.
Arsenal in all this? Because it would seem like that's they need him the most, really, out of
They
anyone.
should be in for him, but they're nowhere near it. And that's
Mm.
this is why, and this is why when a lot of Arsenal fans get upset with the way we speak about their club on this platform, we're not making up things. This is unfortunate the reality that you're in. Arsenal have spent their money, I believe, over the last 2 years very poorly. That when an opportunity like this comes in, you can't really flex your money and try and go get him because we're being told that you don't have that financial power right now to go for a big deal like this. That's what we're being told. We're not even speculating. Like it's generally what's being told. That's what what's his name, David Ornstein said a couple days ago. This is a signing, in my opinion. If Arsenal did have the money, they should be in it for 100%. And I heard Dan yesterday, Chelsea fan, on the top six, speak about it. And by the way, he spoke a lot of sense. I don't know why he was getting shit from Kunle and Igal. That just shows you how sensitive Arsenal fans are. He was saying that idealistically, Arteta doesn't go for similar profiles on both wings. One is more of a runner, someone who holds the width. The other one is more technical, cuts inside, which is Saka. So he was actually spot on when he said that. But right now, you look at what they have up front with Saka out for I don't know how many more months. They should do everything they can to get someone like Kvaratskhelia in this team because he comes in and he adds an absolutely different element to this team. And you actually can have him right now doing on the left what Saka used to do on the right, and maybe on the right just shoehorn someone from now. Maybe play Martinelli for width over there, or figure it out. Jesus, I don't know what Arteta wants to do, but this is a deal that they should be 100% in for. But Arsenal fans, unfortunately, they don't understand how much they fucked up over the last 2 summers where they wasted a big chunk of their money on players that are not really that good. Like, no disrespect, but look at Havertz. Havertz is your highest paid player. In Arteta's head, you know why we forget this? Arteta looked at him and he was like, you know what? I have my Saka. Let me get someone who is the second best player on this team or second best player in that attack that could carry the load when Saka's having a day off or he's injured. That's who Havertz is. You look at the money that he's on, and you look at the money that they signed him for, and then look at the way that he plays. He's nowhere near one of their best players when
He signed
Saka's
him as a midfielder, though, didn't he, Stafford? That's where he signed
exactly,
him.
but that's the
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
Lawless. They thought he would be that guy where it's like I can rely on him when Saka's having a day off or when Saka needs help. He is supposed to be their second best player on this team. This is why when you look at Odegaard and people think he doesn't have that creative spark, or Rice is not that good on the ball, or the left hand side is dead. Arteta, forget what we think. Arteta thought he was going to be that guy, but he's not. And that guy probably should be Kvaratskhelia right now. But because you put this guy on like 200 plus bands a week and you spent what 70 million, you gave your direct competitor in London 70 million for this guy. And now when there's someone like Kvaratskhelia who's been made available, Chelsea can go for him and you can't. And who's that on? That's on Arsenal. You put yourself in that situation.
He's a Chelsea fan as well, this guy. KK is a Chelsea fan as well, bro. Obviously, that don't mean much. I don't look at that and think, oh, yeah, he's going to come Chelsea now because he's a Chelsea fan. But personally, for me, if we do go in for him, right, and it's between us and Liverpool, I think he's mainly going to look at the project, right? Where do you think you're going to win the most trophies in the next 5 years, right? Forget about the whole salary thing, because I don't think Liverpool are going to blow us out the water of the salary, honestly. I don't think they're going to pay him like 300k a week and then we're offering him like 200. I don't think Liverpool are going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm him personally, I'm looking at the ambition of the owners. And you're looking at Salah having problems right now. You're looking at Trent being run down. They're one of their best players from their academy coming through. They could lose this guy on the free. You're looking at Van Dijk, one of the best centre-backs we've seen in the modern era, right? And all these men here are having problems at the same time. So if I'm KK, I'm looking at all of that, bro. I'm looking at Chelsea and saying, yo, these guys go to guys like Benfica. They go and beef Rui Costa, nearly get into fights with Rui Costa to go get Enzo out of there. Yeah. At the beginning, we flopped. We came back at the end. We took him out of there. We gazumped Arsenal for Mudryk, right? These guys are going to go and build a team. Caicedo, Lavia, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm KK, I'm looking at that. Where do I think in the next 5 years I'll be winning the most trophies? That's the main thing I'm looking at. I'm not looking at the short term. Oh, yeah, Liverpool. If I go Liverpool, I'll win the league. Where am I going to win the most in the next 5 years? That's what I'm looking at.
And what's the answer to that? Which of the two clubs, Liverpool or Chelsea, do you think, Don, are going to win the most trophies in the next 5 years?
Oh, I think we'll win more than them in the next 5 years, for sure. And not because they're a bad team, but they've got bad owners. That's the problem I've got with Liverpool. I think their owners lack a lot of ambition, bro. And you know, to replace all-timers like Salah and Van Dijk and that, it's not going to be an easy job. it is not going to be an easy job, especially when you've got owners that they do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm kind of looking at things, man. I think Liverpool are a very good team. They're a big club, bigger club than us, like Lawless has said. But unfortunately, they're held back by their owners. That's their problem. If they had Clear Lake, fucking hell, bruv.
To be fair, also his mate is going to Liverpool next season, so they're probably in talks as well. You know what, bro?
The keeper.
Players in sport, they talk to each other. Like, yo, let's go here, let's go there. And I'm talking about Mamardashvili. He's going to Liverpool next season. So I really wouldn't rule it out. If he speaks to him, he's like, yo, let's just both of us go there. Because what are the odds you're ever gonna get two very good Georgianian players? I can't remember the last time there was a good Georgianian player in general, but two Georgianian players playing at a top side in the Premier League. We'll see. I think it's it's a toss up.
Is it Georgianian or is it Georgianian? Is that
Georgianian or Georgian? I don't know.
I think it's Georgian. I think it's Georgian.
Bro,
Maybe I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Genuinely, I don't know.
It is
American accent tax, but you know what I mean.
You know what,
I just think it's going to be interesting.
You're mixing it with Jordanian. Like it's a
yeah,
Jordanian.
I think that's what maybe I was thinking of. I'm thinking of Hassam and that fucking leopard he's been talking about. But yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting because I couldn't tell you who's going to win more. Maybe if you're looking on the long run, it's probably Chelsea. But if you're looking at the short term, it's probably Liverpool. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. He's just a very good player. So it'll be interesting to have him in the Premier League anyways.
Yeah, look, I understand what you're saying, Don. I understand your point of view. But if they're trying to sign Kvaratskhelia, I mean, they could just say you are our ambition. Like that again. If say he sat in my office, I'm at Liverpool, sits in the office, said, "Look, we've been at Chelsea." True. Don came in and told us you guys lack ambition. I'd just say, well, we don't. We're buying you. And I do get your point, but also some of the other news today is that Van Dijk.
Yeah, you can say that, but then I can turn around and list so many.
Go on.
I think Don is the latest.
I can list so many names, though. I can list off so many names, bro. Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, you know what I'm saying? Colwill. All these men that were supposed to be going to Liverpool are at Chelsea, bro. You know what I mean? So I can list off so many names. I can list off so many names that Liverpool have lost out on because of a lack of ambition as well.
I understand that, but then what I would do, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, they're my biggest rival, but they could say, yep, we missed out on those players and we're ahead of them in the league. We're top of the Champions League group. Van Dijk, the best centre-back in the world, signing a new deal. Let's see what happens with Mohamed Salah. Trent's gone, in my opinion, but Trent's already out the window. But for all that you say, Liverpool are still the better team. So I do get your point, and I think Chelsea will win some big trophies over the next 5 years. But I don't think the only way Liverpool fall off is if they're not replacing players like Salah in the long term with players like Kvaratskhelia. So I almost feel like there's an element of, I get where you're coming from, but I think he is the replacement for those stars. Therefore, that's the ambition. But I do get your point. Viewers, I'd love to get your take on this. We have to not forget as well, it's really important. A lot of the press at the moment are stating that PSG are the front runners. PSG are winning this battle as of right now. And that's another factor in this, that they are still a club that a lot of players in Europe desire playing for.
Which is strange.
There's a fallout with Barcola and the manager. So,
right.
Yeah. So it looks like, as I said earlier, when Enrique falls out with someone, it's very noticeable. If for some reason, because I heard Liverpool fans saying we can give Chiesa in the deal. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you give me either Chiesa or Barcola at this moment, I'm not taking Chiesa. I'm taking Barcola. And I don't care that Chiesa is Italian and you're trying to give him back to Napoli. But if they move on Barcola and they include him maybe in a deal somehow where he goes to Napoli, which I think would be a very good move for him as well, and they get Kvaratskhelia, then I do see it happening. Enrique loves those possession-based players. He's an obsessive coach. He just loves holding onto the ball for so long. We've seen some of his boring brand of football over at the World Cup a couple years ago. So Kvaratskhelia is that type of player that he wants. So if they move Barcola, I'm not gonna lie. If they include Barcola in this deal, I don't think anyone is getting him but PSG, because Barcola is one of the best talents coming up. So why would Napoli say no to him?
There's a few links in Italy, Staffy, that Man United are interested. I don't know about you. I like him. I'd love him at the club, but I almost feel like saying, just sit this one out, boys. Sit this one out.
we won't give him the platform that all these three teams mentioned. would give him. He would flourish right away in Chelsea, Liverpool, and in PSG, in my opinion. I like him a lot, but I will be honest. I don't want Kvaratskhelia. I want the next Kvaratskhelia because I did want him. Then I thought about it. I talked with one of my boys, and he gave me he did wake me up a little. He was like, "Listen, he's too expensive for your club at this moment, and there's a few upcoming players that are very similar to him that you can sign, and in a couple of years, they might perform at that level anyways." Because let's be honest, also Kvaratskhelia, you got to be honest. Like he has only 8 GA this season, so it's not like he's out there killing it in terms of GA. He's a good player, but he's not killing it in GA. You can, I feel there's a lot of players out there that you can go and get that will do a similar job. Like I'd rather put all my eggs in Cunha because I feel like Cunha, for his ability and the output that he's having for Wolves, he comes in and he does that same exact job, if not better than Kvaratskhelia in this team, and it would probably cost us about 20 to 30 million less. And it's a more
There's going to be a lot of competition for Cunha, it's not going to be an easy.
but there's also competition for Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, it's true. But buy the one that you can get. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
I don't want to focus too much on just getting a big signing, Lawless. That sense of entitlement that our United fans, we must sign the best players in every position. We're not there yet. Maybe in a couple of years, if we're a serious team and contending, I'll start saying, hey, let's upgrade every position that we have that needs upgrading to get the best player in their position. I don't think we're in a situation where we should be going to pay 80 million for a player. We can't. I need a couple 30 million players that end up being in a couple years like that. Remember Sadio Mane and Salah when they went to Liverpool? They both cost about 30 to 40 million each. And then in a year or so, they ended up being world-class players. I need to be making signings like that. I need to go for him, maybe go for Gittins, maybe go for Lookman, some of these players that are going to be cheaper than him. And then in about a year or so, they could be having the same impact. That's the situation that we're in. And I'm not even capping. People saying capping. I'm not. I just know I can't do what Chelsea and Liverpool.
I hear you, and I think maybe there's also almost on an expectation level. When certain players, if you look at this summer's signings, I think Ugarte came in. You could tell it was a club signing more so than a Ten Hag one. Bit underwhelming for a lot of people. Starting to show his worth. I think Maz, who has been brilliant for us, a lot of people were a little bit underwhelmed by that signing in terms of they didn't think it was crap. But they also didn't think he was going to be this good. So there's almost an element of surprise. I wouldn't mind for a year or two signing a few players where we go, okay, yeah, happy with that. And maybe they go on to be much better for us than people expect. Maybe not quite to the level of Mane and Salah when they went to Liverpool, but almost in that same in that same sort of context of good players, decent money, with the potential to actually deliver to a high standard for us. I almost feel like, listen, I want Victor Gyökeres, and that isn't someone that's low profile, but I think that one would feel a little bit different. There is an update here, actually, in relation to Liverpool. Someone posted it in here in the comment section. Have I started? I did. It says that Liverpool are prepared to offer both Darwin Núñez and Chiesa as part of a swap deal to sign Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. And again, Darwin Núñez got to go. That guy is nowhere near the standard. And one thing I would say, Napoli really like Chiesa and like the idea of him. So I think that's going to be a real interesting component in this deal. But swap deals are very, very, I mean, they're normally, swap deals very rarely happen, even when they're called swap deals. They're normally two, in this case, could be 3 independent deals by themselves, but we will see. Need a Georgian to communicate with, I can't pronounce that. There we go. Thank you. Oh yeah, I was going to butcher it. I really, really was.